Hey, fifth grade, welcome back. Last time we were talking about area, perimeter, surface area, and volume. We talked about how the area is filling up the entire inside of just the bottom, the base of that shape. The entire inside area of just the bottom. The perimeter is only the outside edges of that base, the base of that shape. Surface area, I want to know all of the inside space on the outside of this surface, and this surface, and this surface, and the back, and the other side, and the base, all 6 surfaces added together. You would use that more with like wrapping paper, wrapping a present. Well, right now, the volume was the part we worked on the most last time. Doing the length times the width to find that area, then adding the next dimension of height, how tall something is. I've got a shape for you here. What kind of shape is this? It's not a cube. This side says 20 meters. This side says 10 meters. This side says 5 meters. It's all different measurements. So this one's made up of rectangles, but they're parallel to each other. So it's called a prism. Whenever the sides are parallel to each other, and they'll never cross, never meet like that, it is a prism. So this is a rectangular prism. The sides are parallel, so we call it a prism. It's a rectangular prism. If I wanted to work on some things with this shape, let's move our sign and let's work with finding a few more things about this shape. If I wanted to just identify what is the base of this shape, the base is going to be what's on the bottom of that shape. I have a rectangular prism here too. And this one, the base, the bottom of the shape, that's where this would be down here. Well, now, if I wanted to find the area, what do I do to find the area for this one? Well, your area is going to be your length times your width, so 20 times 10, so we've got 200 meters, then times your height, we've got 5 meters. Okay, so 200 meters times 5 meters. So now you've got 1,000 meters. Ooh, we used length, width, and height. We used 3 dimensions. So when you're writing your measurement here, make sure beside that meter sign, you put a little 3 for cubed. You've got 3 measurements that we're multiplying there to make this shape. Now, let's look at the surface area. The surface area, I'm going to take this side plus this side plus this side. I'm going to add all 6 surfaces together. So my area here, 20 times, it's not labeled on this side. What do I do if it's not labeled on this side? Well, because they're rectangles, I know that whatever this side is, this one's going to be the same. So 20 times 5 for this side right here, 20 times 5. Then for this side, 10 times 5. The base and the top are both going to be 20 times 10. Then I can add all those measurements together to find each of the surfaces, put it all together for our surface area. The net we haven't talked about in a few lessons, so let's go back and see. If you were having to draw a picture of just the net for this shape, what would you do? To start out, I'm going to identify what the base is. The base in this one, it's going to be a rectangular shape. It'll be 20 times 10, so it'll be a big rectangle, but that's going to be your base. So you'll start out with your base of just a big rectangle. Then you're going to count the other sides and make sure this one is 20 by 5 And then the one on the other side is going to be 20 by 5. Then I'm going to have another one that's 20 by 10. It's going to be a little bit bigger. So I need it to be wider for the 20 by 10. So I've got my base and my top. Then the long sides are going to be a little bit skinnier. Then my sides that are 5 by 10 are going to be even smaller on there. I've got all these different rectangles. So now all I have to do is put them together to make one net. Remember, the net looks like a map of every surface in that shape. You'll be able to fold it up and make that shape again. But you're drawing out the map to make that shape. You'll start just by identifying what the shapes are, then put them all together to make a map of your shape, a net for it. Let's try a different one. What if we had a different shape? Let's try a hard one. What is this shape called? This shape is a little bit more tricky because it has a square base and it's made out of individual triangles. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. I've got a square base and I've got 4 triangular sides. What shape could that be? Well, I've got a square base and 4 triangular sides, so that one's making a pyramid shape. Now this one's going to be tricky to make a net for. You're going to start with a square and then put 4 triangles for it. Now your picture could look something like this. Then all you have to do is match those up to the square. So you have 1 triangle on each side of that square to make your net, your map. The tricky part of this shape is going to be finding the surface area. Remember, the area is going to be your length times your width for most shapes. Well, I've got my length times my width, 3 times 3. Well, when I'm working with a triangle, that's different. I don't do my length times my width. I'm going to do 1/2 of the base times the height. In this case, this triangle is 2 inches tall. So I'm going to do 1/2 of 2 inches times 3 inches. 2 times 3 gives me 6. I'm going to just take half of that. Half of 6. So my area for this triangle is going to be 3. Now it's going to be the same for the other triangle. So when I'm adding that together, I'm going to add my 3 that I got here because I did 1/2 of the base times the height of the triangle. 1/2 of that, and I can add 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, or I can just do 3 times 4 to make it a little bit faster. And that will give you most of your surface area, but don't forget your base. You got to add in the 3 times 3 for that base also. Make sure that you have 5 measurements to add together for this pyramid because you have 5 different surfaces you're putting together. Okay, let's look at one more shape and see if we can figure that one out too. For this one, it's not a pyramid, but it's also made with some triangles. So if I have a shape that is not a pyramid, it has some sides that are parallel to each other, because this and this will never actually intersect with each other. So some sides are parallel, but some of them are triangles. So what do we do with this shape? It's made with triangles, and it has some sides that are parallel. So this one is a triangular prism. A triangular prism. Now, if I want to find the base for it, my base, I'll start out, it's going to look like a triangle. So my top and the bottom of my shape, that's going to give me my bases. That's going to look like triangles. Then I have some rectangle sides. I have 2 long rectangle sides, and I have one that's a little bit shorter, so that it'll be almost a square, a little bit shorter rectangle there. Then I've also got a dotted measurement going across here to show me the height of that triangle. We'll get to that in just a minute. I've identified my base. I've got my pictures that I can put together to make a net. Now let's see my area. I want to know the area of this shape because it's triangles. Let's see, I would do my base, which is 3 yards. That's the base of the triangle, the bottom of that triangle. Then I've got a height. My height going across says 4 yards. I know it's written really tiny there, but it says 4 yards going across. So I'm going to do 3 yards times 4 yards. So I've got 12 yards to start out. Now, we do something different with triangles. We take half of it because a triangle is half of a rectangle. So we're going to do half of our area. Half of 12 gives us 6. So we're going to start with 6 yards squared. We had 2 measurements there. 6 yards square for this side. So our area is going to be 6 yards square because our base was shaped like a triangle. Then for our surface area, we're going to add up that 6 yards plus another 6 yards, then 6 times 2 for this side, 3 times 2 for this side, and 6 times 2 for that back side. We'll add all of those together to give us the surface area. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides on this shape, 5 surfaces. So those 5 faces all need to be included when you are making your surface area. Make sure you put all of them together. Another net that we have worked with a little bit is from a cylinder. Remember that net when we rolled it up and folded the sides down, gave us a cylinder shape. So you may see this again and have to match it to another shape. Make sure that you're able to match those nets. Remember, we've worked with them before, so you can match that net to its shape. You will not have to find the surface area of a cylinder. You won't have to do that, but you will have to be able to identify it based on the net. You're working on pages 337 and 338. But the next lesson is a review for this. So 341 and 342 also go with the same stuff, so you don't need another video for those pages. Just go back and review anything that we've talked about today, and then you can use that to help you with the next lesson too. So as always, take a picture of your work, then put it in our Google Classroom so that I can check it and get back with you. And if you have any questions at all, post a comment for me and let me know. Send me a message or an email. Have your parents contact me. Whatever you need to do so that I can help you with this. Good luck.